Hello, everyone. We warmly welcome you to the first episode of the interview series conducted by the Media Circle of College of Chemical Sciences, Institute of Chemistry, Ceylon. I'm Mithuni Jayasinghe from Level 4, and I have two of my colleagues here with me, Dilhan Jayasinghe and Hasindhi Lokuge. Today, we will be joined by a very special guest who is no stranger to the Institute of Chemistry, Ceylon. She is a retired professor from the University of Colombo and has rendered an invaluable service as the honorary rector and dean of CCS. She is none other than Professor Sujatha Hewage. Thank you for joining us on our first interview series, madam. It is an honor to have you with us today.
Good evening.
Madam,
thank you very much for inviting me. I hope I can give some information to you.
Thank you so much for being present today. So, madam, to start off, I'm sure most of us are very interested to know where you're from, about your childhood and your schooling days. So, madam, would you like sharing some memories from your early days?
Early days, okay. I am not from Colombo. I am from down south. My birthplace is Ambalangoda. So I was educated at Ambalangoda at Dharmasoka College. It is walking distance from home. And I studied from grade 1 to A levels in the same school. From there, I entered the university. Anyway, in school, I am generally a good student. I remember I get either first in the class or maybe third, up to third. Once I remember I was the 14th position in the class. But generally, I fared well. Probably I do my studies, regular studies, maybe. But there was not so much pressure those days. We school start at 7:30. I think we finish by 12:30. We go home, we have lunch. And then in the school, we have afternoon, not lectures or not, studies, extracurricular activities, music, games, netball, table tennis, badminton, so many extracurricular things. Only we go to the school in the afternoon. Otherwise, our studies restricted from 7:30 to 12:30. But we get homework. We do homework at home. And so the life was very smooth. Therefore, I come from a very much educational background at home. My childhood is so much. And my father was very good in English, mathematics. So whatever, any difficulties we have, we can ask him. And one more thing I remember, my father always to say, everybody must study mathematics, science, and music. He encouraged us to go to school and learn mathematics, music in the afternoon, because that is part and parcel of this education. Then we had a table tennis table and badminton at home. So we were generally very happy children, so we didn't need to work very hard like today's children, tuition from grade 1 up to, we never had any tuition, so life was much smoother, nicer, relaxed. And of course, I didn't have any special aims. You go to school, you do exams, you study, so it goes on. There were no very special ambitions as such. And we had very good teachers, I must say, at Dharmasoka College. We had very new, brand new laboratories, and I had to sit for A-level practical. During our time, to get into the university, we must do practicals, chemistry, physics, botany, and zoology. So we had to do practicals in school, and we had very good teachers. And still I remember our physics master. I have never met him, any lecturer or teacher like him. How he taught us to do all the practicals. sound, electricity, magnetism, light, properties of matter. Unbelievable. Still, it is in my memory. You know how we did all this practical so wonderfully well. So there were great teachers those days, I must say. You know, they were not interested in other things, but to share their knowledge with the students. That was their aim. That is the environment we were brought up in school, also at home. And relax, no? I think that was the main reason. Teachers know I have no other work after school hours. They were not giving tuition, I suppose. So they gave their best effort to the educational students. So that was my background.
Madam, it was like really interesting to listen to that. And
Yeah,
thank you
so
so much for sharing that experience with us.
So moving from that, Madam, can you please share with us some interesting highlights from your university life and on what made you choose chemistry as your major field of expertise?
I entered the university and I joined the bioscience because I was never interested in medicine because I couldn't dream of handling dead bodies, and I don't think I enjoy going to hospitals because of that. You know, I couldn't bear, how people suffering and all. So I did bioscience. I entered the Colombo University. That time, University of Ceylon. I entered University of Ceylon in 1965. And there were 60 students in the bioscience group, Colombo University. Then there were 150 physical science students, bioscience, physical science. We all together had the chemistry lectures in the chemistry lecture theatre. You haven't seen it, but a beautiful place, that chemistry lecture, the University of Colombo. Wonderful, very beautiful lecture hall. And I sat at the number 11. There were benches, all marked, for the students to sit according to the number. So my number was 11, according to the surname. They give the numbers, second row, number 11, because they mark the register. Lecturer comes in and open the register, look at the empty seats, mark the empty seats. And not like now, all the students attend lectures. So there are only few students, if at all absent, maybe 2 or 3. So things were very, organized, and things were very easy. So that was the first year. And normally, so we were busy because we had botany practical, zoology practicals, chemistry practical. 5 hours for each. And in the lecture, so from 8 to 4, we were very, very busy. And we had practicals on Saturdays also. Only bioscience group had practicals Saturday, 9 to 3. We were the only one at the university. But we had to come because there are no time slots available. Then we have the first year general science examination. We say GSQ, general science qualifying examination, first year, end of first year. Chemistry, botany, zoology for me. And we have to pass that to go to the second year. You have to pass all 3 subjects to go to the second year. Not like now. Nobody is allowed to go. Either we are given 2 tries to repeat. After that, you go home. Math students, normally they go home after 2 tries. They were very strict. But I got 3 Bs. Chemistry B, botany B, zoology B. A's are very rare. There were A's, but very rare. So at the end of the first year, we were chosen for chemistry, special degree program. I hate zoology because you have to cut all these ceremonies and very difficult to remember these names also, the technical terms. So botany also, I didn't like very much because you have to remember all these, a lot of volume of work. But anyway, I applied for chemistry. And I was not so sure whether I will get it because in my batch, everybody tried chemistry. That you can see, everybody wants to do chemistry. So I never thought I will get a chance. So because of that, I applied for botany also. In case I don't get chemistry, I can do botany. Right? But when the selections are made, this is the first. Now I must also explain this. I entered in 1965. By then, the Peradeniya University has already commenced because University of Ceylon was going to be shifted to Peradeniya. Right, and all the buildings have been, and chemistry special degree students after first year were sent to Peradeniya. So for about 5-6 years, there was no chemistry special in Colombo. Then when we entered, they have decided to start a new stream in Colombo. That means Colombo Science Faculty will not be closed. It will continue as University of Ceylon. Therefore, 10 students were chosen. Right, so I was in that 10. There are 150 physical science, 60 bioscience. So there are about 210 students. Out of that 10, I was also one of them. 4 girls and 6 boys. And not like now out of the 4 girls, I was the only Sinhala girl. All the other 3 girls were Tamils. And boys also, 1 Tamil and 5 boys, and they were very nice. We never had this problem with, issues with, religion or the nationality. So we were all very friendly. Even today, they are my best friends because we had such a wonderful time. Then after selection to chemistry special, then we were separated. All our lectures, chemistry were conducted, 2nd year, 3rd year, 4th year. There were no exams in the 2nd year, no exams in the 3rd year. We do all our exams in the 4th year. You remember, 1st year GSQ, after that no exams in chemistry. 4th year, end of 4th year, we have all the papers, physical, quantum chemistry, organic, inorganic, all, and Monday to Saturday. We finish all the papers, right? Morning and afternoon, whatever. And next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we have each 7-hour practical in inorganic, organic, physical, And that's exam. Within 2 weeks, our exams are over. We go home in June. And the university starts in October. Very, very regular. There were no issues. You go finish the exams in June. You go home and come back in August. So, of course, we have to do a subsidiary subject, which is botany. So I chose botany as a subject, not zoology. But we have to do the subsidiary subject, the final. That means general degree botany paper we have to sit. General degree paper means 3rd year botany paper we have to sit, practical and 2 theory papers. So I did that. I got through subsidiary. And finals, I got a 2nd class upper division, BSc. Student elections were there. Student elections, and they were not like now. Lunch interval, we all meet in the KG hall. We KG hall to listen to all their, what they are going to do and all whatnot. But it was a peaceful thing, provided a lot of enjoyment.
Yeah, how interesting and fruitful your university life had been.
Yes. So university life was good now, undergraduate days. We were not under pressure, I'm telling you. We never felt so much pressure. That's the difference. So that was my undergraduate days, too busy, occupied, and had a lot of friends. We enjoyed and
Very interesting university life.
Oh, yes, we enjoyed whatever it is. We were not under pressure. That is the difference.
At your undergraduate level, so your research was in organic.
Organic, I happen to do because they are 10 of us. So they give different areas research. We had to pick. So I can't remember how we picked. Anyway, I got this organic one, and the supervisor was from Medical Research Institute. We didn't have lectures. or MRI, Medical Research Students Institute. She used to she comes to lectures, our terpenes and things like that. Lectures were conducted by her. So I got her research projects, and that was good actually. But not no NMR, no IR, no this, no that, but TLC did, melting points, TLC, things like that, very simple things he did. Soxhlet extraction, I remember doing the Soxhlet extraction to get the components out and then separate them off, difference of, and then crystallize them and do TLC and all that. Natural product, actually.
So, madam, moving on from your undergraduate studies, you already mentioned that you became an assistant lecturer.
Yeah.
You chose to pursue a career in the field of academia. So what inspired you to take that decision? And if not, what other career prospects did you have?
You see, now best is to become those days, opportunities are not like now. Even now, if you get a lecturer position, you stay on because that is your academic work and you can go through. So when I was offered, I happily agreed it because I like teaching. I like doing research. So I was very happy. But there are other things like you can join CISIR. Today, ITI. That's the Technology Institute, because a lot of students who have classes, if they can't get a university appointment, they go to ITI because that's a research center, research for industry. They're supposed to do research for industry, but they also do PhDs, and that is established by the government institution. Then there is MRI. Those who have done that, chemistry special, a lot of people go to MRI. Then analyst department. That is another place where lots of people who don't get the university position go. Those three are the top ones. Then, of course, geological survey, agriculture department, they all take the chemistry special, no problem. And some go for teaching, some join other different, because when you do chemistry, your analytical mind is very high, There is a big difference between the chemistry and the other subjects, like botany, zoology. Mathematics and physics also equally good, but chemistry is closer to day-to-day life also. No, it forms the basis of everything. You have to know chemistry. Engineers must know chemistry. Physicists must know chemistry. Everybody must know chemistry. Physics is a must for us also, physics is a must. So I was very happy when I got the university appointment. I didn't need to search for anything else. Otherwise, I would have applied ITI or analyst department. I don't think I would have enjoyed any one of them. I love teaching and I take care of the students. Therefore, I'm quite happy to be as a university teacher.
Thank you, madam. It's very interesting to see that you got exactly what you wanted. And we are very happy that you did, because we got to see you as a lecturer and a professor. So that is very interesting to know. Thank you, madam.
Okay.
So, madam, you obtained your PhD from Newcastle University, UK.
University of Newcastle upon Tyne, UK, because I was asked to do this reaction mechanisms now in inorganic chemistry. So we had to look for somebody who does reaction mechanisms, right? So then our professor said, I go to London University and University of Newcastle upon Tyne. Then my professor, they said, I think you will be happier at the University of Newcastle because that is a very busy place, no London, right? There it is a quieter place that, it is, and the professor was also good. Professor Greenwood, have you heard about Professor Greenwood? He's a world famous figure. He wrote this book, Chemistry of Metals. I think our library also had a book, huge book. He is an author in Mossbauer spectroscopy. He analyzed first moon samples for metal ions at the University of Newcastle upon Tyne, because he had the Mossbauer, he's the Mossbauer man also. So then I also felt happy to go out because it is the north and the people are friendly. I know that. So I went to Newcastle upon Tyne. I had a beautiful time, I must tell you. You know, we used to work from 9 to 5, 5 days of the week, right? I never went other days. So I had to do this reaction mechanisms in inorganic. So that means I had to prepare complexes. To study the mechanism, you have to. So I prepared. So that time, my supervisor wanted me to do salicylamine complexes. Salicylamide with an amine. You know, first we have to do the organic synthesis part. You have to prepare the ligand. Salicylamide with amine to get the ligand, and then you put the metal ion, copper, 5 or whatever, and then nickel. I have prepared a whole series of salicylamine complexes, cobalt, nickel, iron, is in different colors, crystals, very beautiful. It's a simple preparation, and this was, remember, 1970, 71. I went, started in 71. Now that is the beginning of the metal drug, metal or drugs. This is the beginning. You know, salicylamine part with the drug. So it is organic, inorganic combined together. Since then, there are a large number of these metal or drugs have come out. This is been used as a drug, but this is the beginning, 74. So I synthesized all these. And then they said to try, because their lab, FTIR, U visible, you name it, all the equipment are there, 100 megahertz NMR, everything. So I tried U visible, FTIR, nothing worked for these complexes. Then I decided to move to NMR, because NMR is another place, another building, and it is very often reserved. So I have to get used to, you know, and being a girl, they didn't like me also working overnight, because Asian girl, so they think it is not that time, 74. So there is a lecturer in charge of the 100 megahertz NMR spectrometer. So he ran my samples. I used to prepare samples and take. Now, what my choice was, nickel salicylamine complex and zinc salicylamine complex. So you have the benzene ring with hydrogen, and you have nitrogen CN group, C double bond N attached to benzene, right? O. Salicylamide, OH and CHO, then it forms the amine, right? Complex. And through oxygen and nitrogen, it is bonded to metal ion, right? So 2 ligands attached to this, or 3, giving octahedral, scrap, whatever, on. So I mixed, because reaction mechanisms, no, you have to find a reaction. So nickel salicylamine and zinc salicylamine. Now, if you look at the NMR spectra of those, zinc is not paramagnetic, no? Zinc D10, right? There are no unpaired electrons, whereas nickel has unpaired electrons. So it is paramagnetic. Zinc is 100% diamagnetic. So I ran nickel spectrum separately, zinc spectrum separately. Those are peak sharp, nickel little broad. When I mix, I got a broad band, you know, the signals got together and broad band. When I took it, I thought something really funny happening. What is this broad band? To see, when I took it to my supervisor, oh, she was excited. I mean, this represents the intermediate. You know, 2 got together, the 2 signals now collapsing together, giving a broad signal. So this shows the formation exchanging between the 2 ligands, right? So it's an intermediate. They were very excited. My lab people were very excited, right? Because so far they never obtained it. They had done a lot of work on salicylamine complexes, but nobody saw this because somehow they didn't mix the 2, what I have mixed. Yeah, you are. My PhD is determined that day itself. My first NMR determined my PhD, because now I have got the reaction where I have to study the mechanism. So I changed the substituent, prepared a series of compounds, and then I saw these signals collapsing, separating. My God, that determined my PhD. So I did that work for 3 years. And for 6 months, I spent synthesizing and doing other. Nothing worked, therefore shifted to NMR. That solved my problem. So Newcastle, I didn't do extra work 5 days of the week, 8 to 5. After that, I was in the hostel, Ethel Williams Hall. It's a girls' hostel. So when I went there, my warden said it was winter time, February I went, and very cold, and winter Newcastle, very cold. And so the hostel, I was, now full the students come, I was given a room, I was there. And then the warden said, now you have come from Sri Lanka. No? I was given the head table. I don't know, because Professor, our head of the department have written, I was the assistant lecturer in the Department of Chemistry. So I was given the position in the head table. So we got wonderful food, morning, lunch, university in the night with so many choices, So 2 main courses, so much dessert, so much, it was so, I didn't need to cook anything. I never cooked anything for my all 3 years there. I got a section, bedroom, sitting room, toilet, separately. I was appointed as a sub-warden of that place. I was given in charge, I never asked, in charge of about 20 students. So I was appointed as a sub-warden and head table. So that is good. All the lecturers are seated there. So I had a good time. I'm telling you, it's all luck. If I stayed in London, nothing, I have to stay somewhere here, beautiful. So I enjoyed when I left Ethel Williams Hall, warden gave a cheese and wine party, and she told me, I will invite the people I want, you give me your list. So I gave my list, and she had a wonderful party for me, and she told me, they used to call me shortened Suji. Sujatha is too long for me. Then said, we respect you because you have been yourself throughout your 3 years here. And nobody else got that treatment, because there was a girl from Portugal lecturer, electrochemistry. She also did the PhD, but she did physical, electrochemistry. She was not given that. She was not even appointed as a head table person. She occupied the same position, but I was lucky, I think. I was just simply lucky, I think. So then I was also introduced to family, by my colleagues in the department. And I used to spend Christmas and New Year with them. They are called Geordies. Newcastle people are colloquially called Geordies. And they celebrate Christmas and New Year. So university is closed 22nd of December and start around 4th of January, on Friday and Monday. So these 2 weeks, all go home. No students in the hostels. Few people are there, foreign people. I go to this family, and they are young, one person is doing PhD in the department, chemistry, and the 2 young brothers. I spent 2 weeks with them, enjoying Christmas and New Year. Wonderful. I mean, what can you expect? I don't know what more you can expect. I never asked for it, but it so happened. I was introduced to this family, and they were really, really very good. So when there was nobody in the hostel, I am there. So my research worked very well. I had a wonderful time. Even warden, they liked me. I don't know. I didn't do anything else. I mean, I'm just me. That is why she told me, you have been yourself. That is why I have a lot of respect for you. That is why I give some board impression and all that. And giving a cheese and wine party, inviting everybody on my day. Very good. I feel very delighted at that time. And this family, you know, they kept me going, you know, so I didn't feel the home front. You know, those days, no telephones. When I left, strike here, locally, no postage, nothing. Sri Lanka was on strike. So when we went, we had a telephone. That's all. No letters go up and down. I didn't get my money for about 3-4 months to pay hostel fees because they all were on strike here in Sri Lanka. So we managed because they were very good. I mean, they tolerated all that. So we collected, and so it was good. And I did research. I published papers and attended conferences, and there were lots of seminar presentation. We also have to present our work, and we did all that like a normal, you know, people who does. And so 3 years went without realizing. And then we had to come back. No, I came back in 1974, joined the department as a lecturer. And since then, conducting reaction mechanism that I have to then spectroscopic methods in ESR and most power spectroscopy also, because I was there. Then later on, when Professor Green would move out, a person from Cambridge came. He brought in his group here, and one other person was a Nobel Prize winner's son, biochemistry Nobel Prize winner, 62. His son was also there. They were very good people, high, academically very high. And I got the chance of associating them also. They were very good. Then that was really a good time, actually. My PhD program, not only studies, research, but the social environment was very good. That is why I think the person I am is due to all those things. I think the experience I gained during that time. Then I came back to Sri Lanka, 74, joined the university. We didn't have rooms to occupy, you know, small department. So Kunju, my friend, and I shared one room. She also went to England for her PhD. Both of us returned on the same flight. That was an accident at the airport only we met. And we returned, and then we continued to lecture. So then we had all those popular lectures, visiting professors giving lectures at CAT, all of things continuing. And we had to do single lectures. Because that time, bilingual, like we conduct the English lecture in the morning, afternoon we had to do the single lecture. So that practical. I was in charge of the first year practical for about 5 years. So like Professor Gunwadana, we used to teach titrations from how to fill a pipette, burette, do a titration, how you get an endpoint with 1 drop, washing flask, all that in great detail we teach the students. Today, even in the 4th year, they don't know how to do a titration. Actually, I'm shocked. I'm telling you, because what we learn in the school, only we did in the university also, because we had to sit for an exam, practical exam. But then we taught the students in the first year. When I was in charge of the practical, all the new methods, all detail we used to teach. But now, even if they are taught, I don't think they are very often careless. I see 3rd, 4th year special degree students also. They can never get the same titration endpoint. They put an average. You think it is correct? I don't think so. If you are a skillful person, same pipette, same burette, same amounts, you should get the same endpoint. They can't. At least 1 drop difference, 2 drop difference. Here 5, 6 drop difference, and they average it and put, and they are very happy. I don't know. So there is something wrong with our teaching or whatever. Not during our time, actually. We were very strict. And the students also studied. Most of them went abroad. I mean, my batch, 1 person went to Canada. That was the beginning. Then, like I came, majority top plot they go, no? So they are the brightest lot. They learn the techniques properly. They learn the basic fundamentals properly. That is why. So they are successful. Like you all. So that was my PhD program. I traveled and yes, I went to Sweden and Norway on student flight because there was a girl from Norway, girl from Sweden in the hostel. They invited me one vacation, you come. So their student flights are there. They are quite cheap. So I went to Norway and Sweden and we had trips. They took me around. So there were things like that which helped me to do my research also well, because when you are happy, things move okay. Right, that is enough.
We have so much to take from those words, madam. Like
I can write a book.
Yes, like the chemistry knowledge of your PhD research and life lessons and everything. It was really interesting to listen to, madam.
Yes,
and like moving on from this PhD research, madam, we noticed that most of your research had been focused on investigating the mechanistic aspects of organometallic chemistry. So can you provide some insights on some of your research work after your PhD?
Yes, but I must tell you, that was my research. So in Colombo, I did research on metal complexes, right? Synthesis characterization. We didn't have much equipment, but whatever the equipment available, we did synthesis characterization. Physics department has a mass spectrometer. We had UV visible. Then we got this JICA grant also, we got IR. So managed to do it. But my whole thing changed after my marriage. In 1977, that is 74 I returned, 75, 76, 77, I got married. Now, my marriage made my whole life different because my husband had to go abroad to work in these embassies, right? As a diplomatic officer, he was attached to Ministry of Trade and he had to go on diplomatic service to different countries. Therefore, 77 onwards, I've been traveling. Therefore, my focus in research and everything went haywire. And I decided I will concentrate in improving my teaching. In other words, learning more things. When I come back from one posting, my husband, I must have something new, modern, something to teach the students, not same old thing. So first my was in Prague, Czechoslovakia. Czech and Slovak Republic together, so it is called Czechoslovakia. Now it is separated. It's a communist country when I went there, 77. They were under Russian rule. What a pathetic situation, because they were very bright research workers. Their chemistry, polyrography they are famous. Their electrochemistry institute, where they made really invented polyrography. So now what do? I went there. I thought now I had to learn something new. No time for research. So I decided there was a UNESCO courses conducted, 1 year courses conducted by Charles University. Charles University is one of the oldest universities in Europe. There were 2 courses, one on macromolecular chemistry, polymer chemistry, for 1 year with a research project. There was another one, modern techniques in analytical chemistry. So 1 year I followed polymer chemistry, next macromolecular chemistry, next year I followed the analytical chemistry, my very advanced. Their electrochemistry is very advanced. So I did both, and I did a research project on polymer chemistry, synthesizing these polymers and analyzing them. And you don't believe, they have models, how the rubber is converted to all this processing of rubber. We, as the postgraduate students, they give use for all the employed people from different countries. So there were so many lecturers also, some from Portugal, they come for follow these UNESCO courses. And we were all taught masticulation of Dabare, all these techniques I learned personally. We made small utensils like ashtrays and all using those machines. That is that. Then analytical chemistry, all the modern techniques related to electrochemistry was taught. That is how I joined the Hewage Institute of Physical Chemistry, where the polarography was initiated. You learn no polarography? By then we have started that card laboratory in the Department of Chemistry, and they have got a polarograph. I came on a holiday and Professor Ramakrishna told me, you better learn polarography. So I went to this, it's a famous institute, Hewage Institute of Physical Chemistry. Hewage is the scientist who introduced this polarography. So I worked there for about 6-7 months in addition to this polymer chemistry research. So that completed so I have learned analytical chemistry, polymer chemistry, and electrochemistry, polarography. 3 new branches. When I came back to Sri Lanka, I taught polarography, I taught electrochemistry. For 3rd year general, I taught electrochemistry. And in addition to my special degree, reaction mechanism for special degree, reaction mechanism, spectroscopy. I also taught cluster chemistry. Clusters also I taught. So in addition, so from Prague, I came back to Sri Lanka. I stayed here for a very short time, 83, the riots. I returned 82, 83 riots. Then the universities were closed. Then my husband was posted to Bombay. I went to Bombay. Bombay, there is this Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, TIFIR. It's a very, very highly advanced institute, very close to my home. And they have physics group, mathematics groups, different groups. There was a small chemistry group. They do research in chemistry, but limited, only that few people. And so they did porphyrin chemistry. Porphyrin chemistry. So I joined that group, did some work on porphyrin chemistry with that particular group. They had a 500 megahertz NMR spectrometer, NMR. So I worked using that one. Then some protein chemistry also I did in that at the Tata Institute of Fundamental Studies for about 2.5 years or so. So that is a very top institute, like an American university. They had all the essential instruments now. So Indians are very advanced, although we don't think very much about them. TIFR was a very big, training. I got a very good training there too, using the 500 megahertz NMR. From there, I came back to Sri Lanka. Again, I went to Italy, Rome. And I joined the City University of Rome. I continued to do my research on porphyrin chemistry. And there also I did research work at the City University Rome. And also they have a separate institute where they do this porphyrin chemistry, because the equipment are not here. When a university, you have normal IR, normal U visible, normal thing. But very special equipment, you have to go to this center. So I went to that center. There are different techniques. So I studied that. Finally, then I came back to Sri Lanka. Again, I went to Geneva this time. I joined, that has a long name, the City University. This is University of Geneva. They had Department of Inorganic, Analytical and Applied Chemistry, right? The name of the department. And they do all supramolecular chemistry. Now I change my topic from porphyrin to supramolecular chemistry. It was really wonderful. After England, I enjoy most at Geneva, because their research very advanced. I worked in a group. There was this young researcher. who had done PhD. He became the best researcher in Switzerland one year, because these supramolecular chemistry, helical compounds. Even now I see in the journals his research work. Helical compounds you have learned in your supramolecular, and I was very lucky again, out of all the places, like in England. Here, one day, I prepared the helical ligand. You have to add many things, and then ligand, and I complex with silver, right? And mix them together, put them together. We do micro scale. So not big scale, micro scale in small ignition tube. You turn a pipette filter to filter your solid. So very mild scale, and let the crystals grow. I kept it for a weekend and went home. On Monday when I came, already lab was really excited. I didn't know. So they said, have you seen? I said, what? I normally go a little late because after my husband go to office. Have you seen? I said, what? Your crystals? We have already seen it there, because in the group, when we work, they take things, check. When I went, there were 3, white diamonds, like 3 big crystals there. They have already sent one crystal to the crystallographer. They knew this is something really wonderful. So I got helical, but it is a circular helical compound, circular helical structure, and crystal structure shows beautiful, this structure, and we published 2-3 papers on that. Unfortunately, I couldn't stay there. No, I have to come back. No, having done it. So my next people after I joined, they were very excited because one person had tried this and given up. Sometimes in Asian, I think we are very good in manipulating things and getting things done, crystallization, things like that. I think we are very good at that. So that was a beginning, and that was very good for the group also. Now they continued with that work, and they got about 2 or 3 papers out of it, including my name. First one is my work. Then after that, they continued with that one. They were published in Angewandte Chemie, European Journal of Chemistry, and Journal of Inorganic Chemistry. There were 3. Rome one also, Journal of Inorganic Chemistry. I had a publication. That there I did Mossbauer also. Iron porphyrins, iron you can study by Mossbauer. So all those research, then my work got interrupted. 20 years I've been out. So from every posting, I brought something new. So helical compounds. I gave a research project also on helical compounds in Colombo. But the problem is, you go on synthesizing your organic ligand. What happens? Chemicals are not available. This girl, up to last step, she synthesized. To do the last step, no chemicals. Luckily, now I was trying to order the chemical. I telephoned BDH London, can we buy this chemical? Yes, you can, 10 pounds, but charge for air freight 250 pounds. Where to find the money? 10 pounds I can find, 250 pounds. He said, why don't you try India? I tried my level best to get from India, nothing worked. Then this girl had a relation in Switzerland. She's a Tamil girl, a lot of people are there. So she contacted this person, a relation, and she got a bottle of this ligand, already synthesized. They are available. And it continued. And we got some very good work from that one. You see, so doing research in Sri Lanka is very difficult. I know I have experience, so it is better to that during that time. Now the things are better. So it is better to concentrate on teaching, to bring something new and teach the students and to look after them. So then we started helical compounds, supramolecular chemistry. So that after that, my husband became the head of the department, so he didn't want to go any postings. So from 1996 onwards, I am in Sri Lanka. Doing things for that. So I had a wide experience traveling, meeting people, enjoying life, for diplomatic life, also evenings, all functions and parties. And I'm also giving dinners and, so my life changed. It is a mixture of everything. I am not really doing 100% research or what, but I have a mix of everything. That is why I devoted my life for the way I think the fate is such that I can serve the students better in this manner. So that was my another 10, 20 years of work, going up and down. So that is a very different life.
Yeah, I think you have had a very unique experience a chemist can have.
Unique, I would say.
And how humble you have been to share your knowledge with your students. Whatever you learn from the countries that you could visit.
Yeah, so I gave research projects, then I taught them, all new supramolecular chemistry, even porphyrin, yeah, all interconnected. With that you learn so many other things also, chemistry. So you become very much oriented in knowledge. Knowledge is high. Therefore, you can handle a lot of your teaching material. You can make it simple. What is important is a complex subject, if you can put it in a simplest form for the students to understand, then the students will do the balance. You have to learn your fundamentals and then the students get on with the work. So that is what I think, rather than teaching very complex. Whatever I learned is very complex. But if you can put it in a simplest form, the students learn it, the fundamentals.
Yes, so exactly, madam. I think we have come to a very good point. Now you have had many years of teaching experience at the University of Colombo. And as one of the most senior professors of Sri Lanka, we believe that all of us are students of you, either directly or indirectly. So you have taught great educational, I would say, influencers and experts in this industry. So looking at what your students have achieved over the years, I hope it won't be too much to ask what you feel about them, madam.
The students, they always, I feel, they are doing very well. I will tell you, chemistry special students, my student, Veranja Karunaratna, Samita Dharaniyagala, Sriyanti Dharaniyagala, name it Professor Costa. I didn't have much time to teach Professor Mahana, Professor Costa, because I was going up and down, maybe, Professor Ramani. I did only little work with her because all her period I was abroad. 82, I was in Prague. So because I was going up and down, I had little, but later on from 96 onwards, Dr. Hasindhi, all these people, I have taught them. They were my research students and they are doing so well. Some are now, some are most of them went abroad. So they are doing very well. I get all these messages from them. That they enjoy my lecture, they enjoy doing research with me about my personality. You are a role model for all of us. My things are full of all these things, and pharmacy graduates especially. Chemistry graduates anyway, that's a well-established program. So they anyway do excellently when they go abroad. They are all researchers, join either private industry or they are lecturers in different places. Professor A.P.D. Silva, well-known figure. So they are very well established. If you take pharmacy students, it's a new program. And I offered a different branch now for these students. And pharmacy, I'm the one who initiated the program in Sri Lanka. and the praise they give me. I mean, recently we had a Zoom session with all our students abroad. They said, Madam, you are doing wonderfully well. Some are lecturers, Uppsala University, she's associate professor. One is in New Zealand. She is a lecturer. She was selected because she had done the pharmacy program at the University of Colombo. On the strength of that, she was appointed she has a PhD from USA. But the strength of that program, pharmacy, she was appointed to conduct technology program in pharmaceutical technology at an engineering faculty at this university. Then there are a few in Australia. They are all lecturers, researchers, faculty members, and USA, so many, and none of them will come back because their life is much better there because they are in the right field, because the drug design, drug synthesis, you name it. Pharmacy doesn't mean you like in Sri Lanka, you give drugs, distribute drugs, so pull out. No, they are all doing research and development. So they are very thankful to me for starting this program. Now see, Sri Javadanpura, Ruhuna University, Peradeniya University, all these pharmacy programs are mainly manned by graduates. Because the beauty of this is we are combining chemistry with pharmacy. Without chemistry, you cannot be a pharmacist. The organic chemistry has to be wonderful. So I'm very happy that I managed to start. Lots of problems, medical faculty never liked it. Again, I'm thinking of luck, for my luck. That time, the head of the Department of Pharmacology was Professor Krishantha Veerasurya. He's not only a medical doctor, he's a scientist. And he was leaving Sri Lanka to join WHO. I also did not know anything about that. When I had so many discussions with him, he said, now that you are here, let us start it. Because he knew with my discussions, I will do this anyway in the chemistry department. And he knew this is the best time to start this program. I think so. Because all the others are not happy, at the Senate, when this program was going to be approved, Professor Krishantha Veerasurya now left the head of the department. He was there for the first batch. He was going to WHO General Representative in India. He said, the current head said, this is not the time to start the pharmacy program. I also retorted back, our graduates at the University of Colombo are unemployed. They have to find a good employment. That is why we really need this program. And Senate agreed. Vice Chancellor was very much for this and Dean Medical was for this. So we started. If it was going to be medical faculty, they will never do it because now we have established all the medical faculties have started. They can't. They were going to make it a 3-year degree. Ours is a 4-year. So the others fought back and got it. So that was a big thing, I think, that we broke that and started it in the chemistry department. Doctors can't dictate, the science faculty. But pharmacology helped us because we felt if it is pharmacy, medical faculty should be involved because there is a clinical part of clinical pharmacy. But Professor Krishantha Veerasurya was for it. So the first professor there that time. It's my luck, I would say. All students, the students are lucky to start this program and they're doing very well. You don't believe, no lecturers abroad. Here, some, not only pharmacy, there some are in administrative service, some are different jobs, not only pharmacy. Many, they are doing regulatory affairs, well paid, management affairs, they do, because it's a multidisciplinary, very wide program. They do all, chemistry, they had to do molecular biology, biochemistry, regulatory affairs, computational chemistry, drug design, drug ID, very good. No? So that was very, very, I think, a positive thing for the Sri Lanka.
Yes, as an academic, I think it's very important to think about the academic life of a student and also about the job market. How
Yes,
he or she will be suitable to carry on with the rest of their life. And
life,
also, yes,
yes,
and also how it will like affect the economy of the country. And
yes.
how we can get the contribution towards development of the country. So I think you have done that exactly you have served the need of the country.
Madam, so in addition to initiating the BSc Honours degree at the University of Colombo, what other steps did you take to uplift the standards of the university?
When I became the head of the department in 1996, it was in shambles, I must say. There was no water in the building, equipment, no equipment, not even simple colorimeters, the glassware, everything was in such shambles, and laboratories are dirty, balances are dirty, I must tell you. So I have to streamline all those things. Number one, to get the laboratories refurbished. So we did all the labs refurbished, bought instruments like balancers, spectrophotometers, student model spectrophotometers, beautiful ones we got. Even now they are working. This was bought in 1998 also. Then all the labs are renovated, and chemicals there were no chemicals when I joined in 1996. There were no potassium iodide, simple titration, nothing. I don't know how they managed. So I immediately wrote a letter to the Vice Chancellor asking for money to get these chemicals. Vice Chancellor approved. So we got the chemicals and organized everything. Labs are repaired. All, labs, the metal where the water flows, they have all broken and water is seeping through. The students are walking on water on the floor. So I have to repair all those. I did everything, brought up to a student-friendly atmosphere so that students are peacefully can conduct the lectures. I bought quick fit apparatus for all the BSc Honours graduates, chemistry. There were about 20 odd students, bought 25 quick fit apparatus so that they can do their organic chemistry or whatever. Pharmacy students, 15. I got that lab all glassware. Can you find quick fit in your labs? No. During my time, I made sure the students have a very good, environment to work. So all the balancers, I use soda, beta naphthol, all over the place. I have to remove, get the balancers repaired. I did a wonderful job by getting the laboratory organized so that students work in a clean lab. And all the equipment, simple ones, spectrophotometers, balancers, glass, are all provided so that they can do a good job. And train the laboratory technical officers. I send them to Singapore, University of Singapore, chemistry department. I wrote a letter to the head. Head agreed. I said, we have limited funds from ADB grant. Can I train my 10 technical officers in your institute? He said, we have a very beautiful, nicely organized program to train technical officers. Yes, you can send 10 time to time, and I will give this program to all 10. So we can't send all 10 at one at the same time with the limited money. I gave those who have already gone abroad 2 months. Those days, Colombo plan, Commonwealth, they give 1 year training program abroad for technical officers. Now everything has stopped now. So I used this to send them to Singapore University, 2 months. Those who have never gone abroad, 3 months. Two, I said, I gave them a good training. The one of them look after our NMR spectrophotometer. We had a 200 megahertz NMR spectrophotometer. He came, he took over. So everything was done. So they were happy. They went abroad, they came back and they contributed. You see, we have to make people happy. So then I established the molecular biology biochemistry laboratory. Late Dr. Maya Gunasekara is the person who really initiated that program, biochemistry, molecular biology. But we needed the lab. 1992 to 93 period, when I was the head, we established that lab. I got the best technical officer in charge to do the lab. I said, find best quality material to establish lab. Only thing my dean asked, why don't you put tiles on the floor? I said, in case there is water or something with this acid and all, I don't want to take that risk. So let the floor be cement, because this is not a dry lab, no, wet lab. But we got excellent wooden material, and even after 25 years, it is functioning very well. I'm so proud that we got that. We got JICA equipment for the lab. So we got all the equipment. So with that, we established that lab. That is one major one. Then I established the computer center. For basically for the first year. Professor Nalin has returned from Cambridge, and myself and he did the first year work just to Nalin to make sure that the students are introduced to computer. So I established the computer lab, got some computers, and the first year students were given training using those computers, small software. Then all the others also can use that lab. So computer program continues for all. Then staff rooms. We didn't have tutorial rooms. 5 tutorial rooms established, because we do every week a tutorial, first year and second year. So we need space. So I got the tutorial rooms done. I got the labs done. I got this molecular biology, biochemistry lab done. Very nice lab. I got the pharmacy lab done. Fully organized, old lab, renovated and got it done. Then instrument center. Our instruments are all over the place. JICA grant, ADB grant. Then there was this library. For library, our science library on the 4th and 5th floor. I had to get it shifted out so that I can put these JICA equipment there. Then ground floor, journals, all journals, big area, all stacked. That also I got removed, sent to the main library, converted that space into the instrument center. So all the JICA research instruments were brought down to that place, and beautiful lab with HPLC, GEC, IR spectrophotometers, all the latest fluorescence we got under JICA grant. All that were established. So the research students are easy access under a very senior technical officer who is really competent. That lab was put. So the student had all the opportunities. NMR is put under another senior one who looked after NMR. Biochemistry lab also selected. That is the management technique. You have to find the most suitable person for a particular job. Not everybody can do these things. You see? So when I left the head of the department, they changed the technical officer in charge of the NMR. What happened to NMR? Just gone quenched. The way I looked after that NMR, you all don't believe. I will tell you 1 or 2 sentences. NMR, I was fighting with the administration, don't buy this liquid helium NMR. I have used all this. For my PhD, I use electricity and water, NMR operation. Let us buy water and NMR. Helium we have to import. If we can't import, there will be serious trouble. Water and electricity we have. I had a big fight with the administration, but the Japanese won't give in. They said, because their main thing is this NMR. If you don't buy the NMR, this is out. And the way specification is written, we have to buy it. So we bought it. Then I sent this chap to abroad and got him. What happened? Then I argued with Japanese and I asked 10 years free helium. We have no money to buy helium, no? Laksha deka, 2 lakhs those times. Then they argue and argue. They promise they will do 5 years free liquid helium, right? 5 years. So we got 5 years free liquid helium. After that, I was back in Sri Lanka. And the first consignment, when we apply for liquid helium, nobody gave quotation. Germany, we have sent to several. Ultimately, who helped me? My husband. I told him, right, telephone your friend in London, Germany. Ask him to contact these people, send us a quotation. He telephoned and we got the quotation. For liquid helium, otherwise the NMR would have been quenched that time, because before 20% we have to fill liquid helium. So we bought the volume and we will. So through my husband, I got that quotation, and I got a person from there to visit Colombo, because now it is different, to fill liquid helium and train our people also. So that, because of that, it did not, went off, because we got liquid helium. Similarly, pharmacy program, I told my husband, send your colleague in London to School of Pharmacy London and meet the dean and ask for 3 professors as our foreign examiners, moderators. And I got pharmaceutical chemistry, pharmacognosy, pharmaceutics, 3 top professors through him to moderate our papers. Even now, School of Pharmacy are our moderators. But because of the COVID, we couldn't send the papers like I came. We didn't send last 2 years. So those are additional things what I have done. All our pharmacy papers go abroad. Chemistry we stop. But liquid helium pressure, we sorted it out through that some channel, Luckily, my husband was there. That's all luck. Otherwise, it would have been quenched long time ago. But change in the technical officer, I am sure they did not fill liquid helium properly. It is a difficult task. They did not know what to do. They didn't fill it properly. So the magnet quench, what did they say? Because of tsunami. Tsunami did not affect Colombo University. And if I was the head, I would have had a thorough investigation and got those culprits to pay for it or do something. Negligence. If you are negligent, you cannot have this sophisticated equipment. If you have sophisticated equipment, we have to maintain them. Otherwise, you don't buy them. I know Institute also has the same problem. You have to buy spare parts, look after them. Student choosing means additional care has to be there. So that is one. Then NMR, pharmacy, it's got a lab renovation, sending these people abroad, all that I did for the benefit of the students. Otherwise, imagine practicals they learn. Horrible, no? Nothing. To do a titration, there are no glass here. No chemicals. And there is no water. At 5-story building, when I came in, one day I see all the students standing along the corridor. I asked, what is the problem? Madam, there is no water in the building, so we are waiting for water to come so that we can start our practical exam. I said, you can't stand here till your water comes and to start the exam. What nonsense is this? That was the real position. You will not believe. Then what I decided was, we had the fill this sump with water. We contact the municipality. We got 2 lorries of bowsers of water, filled the tank, and practical started on time, 9 o'clock. And the exams are over, practicals are over, So nobody took any decision. Students are waiting along the corridor to face the exam. So now tell me, who should take care of these things? Head of the department has all the authority. You don't have to ask anybody. You take the decision. You tell the high authority, you have to pay. No? Pay this. Otherwise, how can you? So you see, for the student welfare, we have to do lots of things. Otherwise, if you leave it, if there is nobody to take care, you will go through. You pass the exams somehow or other. You go through, but you really learn it. To learn properly, the basic things have to be provided, the basic things. If you have the basic things, you do wonderfully well, because if you understand the basics, the balance you will do on your own. Otherwise you do something. You memorize or you do something and you get through it, no problem. You will not fail or anything. But learning properly, that is what the facilities we have to provide it. So virtually, I have to reorganize whole chemistry department. You can see from bottom floor to 5th floor. I did all that work. Tutorial rooms, chemicals, glassware, water, establishment of lab. 3 labs I established during my time. 4. Pharmacy, biochemistry, molecular biology, computer section, and instrument center. University has no problem, they gave money. It is you have to give a proper plan to things, you see. So I did a lot of work. That is why the students got the benefit of it, not me. It is of no use for me because I'm not going to get promotions on those things. Promotions are on research. You have to have research publication. Of course, they will have contribution to the society or something. If I work, I can offering certain positions, then I will get some other minimum. Really, it is for research, and you are teaching little bit, mainly research. So instead of doing research, I have done service to the students. I think it is worth it, to produce quality graduates without all these problems. Students must be provided proper facilities. Then only the students. Can you imagine somebody working in a dirty lab? The student will ever know what is working in a chemistry lab properly? Anything is okay. Dirty glass, dirty, no chemical, dirty, titrations, the students, then you only think of that. But if you have provided very clean, proper glass, and students know, this is it, and you can get the correct endpoint by giving all that facility. You see? So there are lots of things within the available facilities, within the available funding. That is also a fact. You do things not unnecessary, but basic things have to be provided so that the students are happy.
You had done so much of service to University of Colombo and then to A-level students as well by holding these seminars and all. So, Madam, now, in addition to all that you have done, you have also held many honorary positions at the Institute of Chemistry, Ceylon. So, are there any significant events that you would like to highlight during your acquaintance with chemistry?
Yes, I came in 1971 when we were, just graduated. The Professor Jayasinghe Fernando and there is Dr. Mahendra, their secretary and treasurer. They don't let us be on our own without joining. So we joined. And I held many positions actually. I have been a council member for a long time, 71. Then I was going abroad, So middle part, I lost till about 1995 or something, coming and going. When I'm in Sri Lanka, I come for things, then I'm going. Therefore, I couldn't even do teaching I came because it's not very stable, So I never got involved except 82, 83. But I was a few things. I was the editor I came, and this chemistry in Sri Lanka, I was the editor. There are 3 issues that were very important out of normal things. One was the felicitation volume for Professor Bawa, Sultan Bawa. Professor Sultan Bawa, the head of the Department of Chemistry, Peradeniya. He was everybody's professor. Even Professor was, and our head of the department was acting for him. At that time, when we were doing chemistry, we selected the chemistry head. Our professor was Professor Sultan Bawa, but he was at Peradeniya. We had an acting head here. So Professor Sultan Bawa felicitation volume, when he was 75 years old, Institute decided, because all were his students, no, and he made a major contribution for natural product chemistry. So the government also recognized him as a very high recognition is there for him. So we issued a special issue to felicitate Professor Bawa. That is one. So I had to collect all and put it together, Professor Bawa. Then IYC, International Year of Chemistry in 2011. That also we had a very special volume. Library must be having that volume. I was the editor that time. We issued a very special one. I got all the lecturers, Colombo here, there, everybody to give articles, Nobel Prize winners and all whatnot, IYC. Huge celebration of Mr. Hettigedara did single-handedly with that work. There was this big exhibition. I don't know, you probably were not even A-level at that time, no? 2011, we were still going to school. Lots of students came to see BMICH exhibition was there. Chemex exhibition, lots of students came to see the exhibition. And I prepared a special volume for IYC, International Year of Chemistry in 2011. That is one. Then there was a special issue for Professor J.N. Fernando Memorial. There is that was the editor that I was the editor at that time also. So these three are very special issues of chemistry in Sri Lanka. Apart from that, the newsletter was there, all the things were there. Those are three issues. Then I held many positions, international relations and all whatnot. Then I was the president of the Institute of Chemistry in 2006. So then 2006, 7, July to June. And I had a series of seminars. Somewhere I have written it. I had series of seminars conducted. We have to collect money now to have this final annual sessions. Those days, Professor J.N. Fernando was the chief person there. So he always, he doesn't give a cent from IChem. We have to collect funding, sponsorship, and run the show. So I collected enough money. I used to write to all these big companies. I don't know anybody from those companies. I write nice letters, highlighting the student participation. That was my thing, right? Rather than writing about IChem, because all these quizzes and all the students come now for inauguration. So we have to, provide facilities. Then they give 50,000, 75,000, that they used to give. So I collected enough money for the institute annual sessions. Then I also had several seminars directly for that, right? For first seminar was the search for drugs. And natural product chemistry, their search for drugs, Sri Lanka is very famous for drugs. And PPJLC was an auditorium, everything was full and no space to sit also. They were in different places and it was a very successful seminar. First time we are having all the university professors and all these people were invited. Then I have another one, light, harvesting, sensing, and as a depollutant. That physics people and different branches came and did presentation. Then I had gene technology in molecular medicine and forensic sciences, because gene tech, that time Maya Gunasekara was heading that. She was not very well. Then Neil Fernandopoulos, one of the students, my student also, he came for this thing. So it is related to, the second one was physics-oriented physical chemistry, gene technology in molecular medicine and forensic science. All were held at PPGL Sirivardhana. And my theme seminar was, as the president, I gave a presentation, Research in Chemical Sciences, Outlook and Prospect for the Future. I got 7 foreign people to come and deliver lectures. Chief guest was, you have heard about Professor A.P. De Silva?
Yes, ma'am.
Professor A.P. De Silva was the chief guest, because I thought we are inviting all kinds of people to become the chief guest. But Professor A.P. De Silva is very well known internationally. When I was in Geneva, they were talking about A.P. De Silva. I said, he's my friend, no, colleague. We thought he's Portuguese. No, he's a Sri Lankan. He was because supramolecular chemistry, he was also doing supramolecular sensors and all whatnot. No? They all knew about him. So I decided in this thing, I will invite Professor A.P. De Silva as the chief guest. Guest of honor, I invited our foreign examiner for pharmacy moderator, Professor Brian Clark from UK. He came, and there are other 5, one from Hong Kong, American professors. They came and delivered in different areas, 7. And I had it at Cinnamon Grand. Now those days it is called Hotel Transasia. I didn't come to anywhere. I had it at Transasia Hotel inauguration. Inauguration, not like now, very well attended. All came for my inauguration, full. All the senior people came, Professor T.V. De Silva, you name it, Professor Mubarak. Everybody came, and we had then this theme seminar, Research in Chemical Sciences, Outlook and Prospect for the Future. 6 internationally known people came and delivered the presentation. I invited university people to come. I got them all free, students, to come and listen. And in parallel to that, I had another seminar, Safety of Foods, Beverages in International Trade. This was supported by European Union. I got funding from the European Union because they, international trade, so they gave funding to get this expert. Foreign expert came and we did lots of, because food is a very famous area in Sri Lanka. So it was full. There were 2 seminars going together. One section chemistry, other section food seminar. Well attended, both. Right? And that was really good. I covered all the expenses, bringing in students, everything, and save a little bit of money to the institute also, about 2 lakhs or something. Nowadays, some people save a lot of money, but we had a good seminar and did this. And apart from other seminars, I also at one time, I had these 4 or 5 seminars, which were well attended actually. Apart from, convocation, we have to do all that. Annual report of that, then as the dean, I was an honorary dean, because I was not full-time dean there, I was honorary dean. I didn't do lectures, practicals, and full-time. But anyway, during that period, COVID, and institute was virtually closed. We recruited 3 academic staff members. That is the president's wish, and I also supported that and discussed and gave my views at meetings, and somehow they convinced, and we got now 3 new additions to the institute. I think that's a good thing because their load is heavy. Therefore, the work can be shared. What else? There's so many other things I did. Dean, Honorable Rector. Then I am in so many committees now. I'm in CCS, ABI, KMC, Salary and Cadre Committee, then Ethics Committee, all these committees, I contribute my share.
On a final note, madam, there are so many students out there who are willing to pursue a similar path to what you have chosen. I'm sure any advice you have to give them will not go to waste. Can you share some advices with us, madam?
To these for future students, advice for them. I think students must learn the fundamentals. You have a pathway, no, you identify. I'm doing chemistry honors or GIC or whatever. You must be focused and concentrate and learn all the basic fundamentals. That is the success and commitment. You must have an aim to learn it. But so if you devote your time and do a very serious, understanding and studies, your fundamentals must be thorough. Your first 2-year work is the most essential. If you are poor in understanding first 2-year work, you cannot proceed. Then 3rd and 4th year also new topics are introduced. You must be thorough with your fundamentals, nothing else. The basic fundamentals, you must be really thorough. Then on your own, you will learn the balance because your fundamentals are thorough. Without the fundamentals, you can't do anything. And you have to be focused on what you are going to do, study or project or whatever you do, 100% commitment. That to see the success of what you are doing. Now, my life is that, no, it may not be relevant to my research or anything. Whatever I undertake, I see to it that it is successfully completed. That is in you. You have to plan it. You have to know how you can see the end to whatever the task you have undertaken. If you are going to stop halfway through, that is not the way. So if you are committed, if you can understand your role, you can be very successful because then you understand, you commit yourself and you do it. So that is what my advice to everybody. And plus, you have to have a fine personality. Your integrity matters most because others must respect you, They respect you from your behavior, the way you do things, the way you talk to people, the way you make them comfortable, your way of sharing and caring. So all these personality issues come. You can become a Nobel Prize winner by doing chemistry all by yourself, right? There is no problem in Switzerland. Claude Piguet, my colleague, who was in the Geneva lab, is very good in research, helical compounds, is supramolecular chemistry expert. He doesn't talk to anybody. He does his research throughout the year. 2 weeks he go for skiing during winter time. That is the only outside work he does. Otherwise, he will write papers, do research. And nobody in the lab liked him. There were several Australians, 3 or 4. They really hated him because he also said, what are you all doing? Well, nothing, no? While he is working, you see. So that is one kind of character. But that kind of a person will not fit into society. He might even get the Nobel Prize, because he is so devoted. But is that what you want in your life? If that is what, fine. But you to have live in this society, you have to have teamwork and enjoyment in life. You are doing research and enjoying it, that is fine. But is it, I don't know whether as a human being, you have families, you have friends, you have this. So your personality on top of all what I said, commitment, devotion, focusing on what you aim and to get the final result without getting. On top of all that, you need your personality, integrity. Others must take you seriously. Others must respect you. Then only you can be successful in this world, because you have to have a normal life also. After all. So that is important. The character of a person is very important. Integrity. Not like our politicians, but now I never had a problem of wherever I went. I have associated many nationalities, many, working with them. I never had a problem, because as my warden in England, Newcastle, said, hostel warden, Ethel Williams Hall, I was said, Suji, I'm doing all these things because you have been yourself. No pretension. They can see through me. See? So I think that is what is necessary. That is the message I give it to everybody. Whatever the path you choose, you must work hard, achieve what you are planning for. So that must be within your capacity, capability. On top of all those achievements, and you also must have developed your personality, your integrity, and so that people will look up to you when you do something. That respect you must earn in whatever you do. That is what my message is. Work hard to achieve the targets. Yes, everybody must have some ambitions, so you work towards it. Get whatever you want, but at the same time, you have to be accepted by majority of the people. The respect you must earn. Then life is smooth. It is what I feel.
Thank you, madam. That was very valuable.